Okay, good afternoon. So for today's topic, we're going to discuss about, I'm sorry, it should be lesson 10, no? Uh, we'll be discussing the second part of our, the subject, the topic, no, of our subject, which is legal or law office environment. So the first part, we actually discussed the general office environment, no, wherein you can actually use those informations you've learned on the first part in whatever office you're going to work. Okay, so but this time for the second part, we'll be talking about the specific office, which is a special office, which is a legal or law office environment. Okay. Now, of course, when you say legal office environment, first thing that you get in our mind is like here in the Philippines, we one thing that would enter into our mind is we're talking about law firm, no, or law offices. However, even it's not a law office, as long as you are doing legal tasks, like for example, if you're assigned in uh, processing business permits or other legal documents in your company, then you are actually doing uh, legal office procedures, no? Okay, but for this time, for this part, I'm going to focus on a particular career in legal office, no, which is the legal administrative assistant. Okay, or uh, commonly we call it legal secretary. Okay, now what do you mean by the word legal? No, it is actually established by or founded upon law or official or accepted rules. So in other words, it is in accordance with law. So you will say legal if you are allowed to do it or have to do it by law, and again permitted by law. What about law office or legal office? It is an office maintained by a lawyer or a firm of lawyers for the practice of law. So who works in a law office? Actually, it depends, no? It depends on what the employees or how big or small the law office is. So uh, common workers in a law office are law or senior partners or those lawyers, no, who are managing partners. And of course, there are also office managers, especially if it's a large law firm, no? And IT personnel who took care of the computer system. And then lawyers, law clerks, legal assistant, legal secretary, and receptionist. Again, it would actually depend on the size of a law office. Now, again, as I mentioned, we'll focus on the job of a legal administrative assistant or legal secretary. So for purposes of discussion, we're going to work to abbreviate the legal administrative assistant to LIA for easier understanding. So what are legal administrative assistants? They are professionals who support paralegals and lawyers in a legal environment. So they conduct legal research, draft documents of various legal disciplines, manage schedules, and ensure the efficient and effective administration of the office. What are some responsibilities of a legal administrative assistant? Uh, Example is daily record keeping with electronic and hard copy filing of documents, obtain relevant information from other organizations or agencies. Like for example, if you are assigned to call BIR or uh, other government agencies, no, that you will be dealing with in order to do your job. And then maintain and update databases and tracking systems, ensure efficient and effective administrative information and assistance. Then prepare and edit correspondence, minutes, letters, memos, presentations, and spreadsheets. So I hope the first part of our discussion on this subject was able to help you, no, on how you prepare this business correspondence. So even a legal secretary or legal administrative assistant do or prepare a lot of letters, no, or memos. Okay, and then also they also transcribe dictation. So it is an advantage of yours since you are an office an OAT students, and one of the skills you've learned in this course is you will able to do stenography, no, so you will be able to transcribe faster. Okay, so as again I would like to remind you to please practice your stenography skills, your shorthand skills, because it would really be helpful. It is a plus actually if you know how to do shorthand or use stenography. Then review and proofread documents and correspondence to ensure accuracy. Process and distribute documents and correspondence to ensure accuracy. Plan and schedule appointments, conferences, meetings, and travel arrangement for legal staff. Actually, being a legal administrative assistant is actually the same working in an office. No, if you're a receptionist, executive assistant, or an office manager, you are most of the jobs are the same. No, however, in a law firm or in a law office, uh, most majority of your jobs requires you to do these legal duties. No, or something to do with following whatever is legal. Okay, and then you also coordinate logistics for meetings and conferences. Like for example, if there will be client meeting, then it will also be your responsibility to prepare the rooms, the snacks, or the projectors, or whatever logistics that they will be using, no, during the meetings or conference. Then provide administrative support, including copying, scanning, and faxing. Monitor and coordinate the flow of information internally and with external stakeholders. And of course, very important, maintain accurate and expense account records. So there are times, especially if it's just a small law firm, the secretaries are also responsible, no, in managing those expenses or record keeping. Then prepare and process expense account records, coordinate client billing process. So like for example, how much will be the retainer fee? So if it would be in a weekly, monthly basis, so it would depend on the arrangement, no, between the client and of course the lawyer or your firm. And what are those billing charges? Like for example, there will be cases, then the legal secretary or the legal administrative assistant will be responsible to do the billing and maintain law libraries and keep office files organized. So again, these are examples of your responsibilities, no, as a legal administrative assistant. Okay. Now there are also non-legal tasks of a legal administrative assistant, no, like again very common, and it's a must that you need to have a good or excellent customer service skills because you uh, welcome guests or clients by greeting them in person or in telephone, and then maintain office supplies by checking stocks, photocopying, and printing various documents. Then for legal tasks, you all these are some tasks, no, related to, I mean, part of your task as a legal administrative assistant is to coordinate case presentations, okay, like preparing or scheduling it, or what are the information that the lawyer will need. So you will call clients, or probably your lawyer boss will instruct you to call the clients and ask for those informations. And then maintains lawyers' calendars by scheduling and planning conference. Like example, if there will be hearing, so it is very important, no, to really take note and monitor those schedules. Okay, and then Recording and monitoring court appearances, pleading filed and filing requirements, maintain the client's confidence by keeping client lawyer information confidential. Again, part of the work ethics of a legal administrative assistant is to maintain confidentiality. Okay, since as your boss or superior lawyer, your bosses, they have this obligation, no, to maintain confidentiality, to respect. They have the duty and respect to their clients, and that is one thing is to maintain confidentiality. And as the secretary of the lawyer, you are actually part of that obligation, no, wherein you are also required to maintain confidentiality. So you are not allowed to mention confidential information to your relatives or friends, or anything that are confidential in relation to your job as a legal administrative assistant. Now, I would like to emphasize about maintaining lawyer's calendar, and of course recording and monitoring court appearances, reading file. This one is very important, no? If you will be will be tasked by or given this responsibility, because of course lawyers are very busy, no? And as their legal assistant, uh, you will be as they expect you to monitor these dates, no, those important dates, okay, like for example the filing of an answer or pleading, wherein there is actually uh, due dates, no, there are just there are require given certain days, number of days for you to answer, otherwise you will be penalized, or there is really a big impact, no, it will probably i mean uh, you will lose the case because of that negligence, or not able to answer the submitting those legal documents. Okay, so other skills required for LAA. So like of course you should be excellent in verbal and written communication skills. You have a strong knowledge in Microsoft Office application, because you will type a lot of legal documents, no, and then you must be accurate in typing. You should have a time management skills. As I've said, there are targets, there are due dates, so you need to finish things beforehand, no, before the deadline. And then ability to work independently and manage large workloads, especially if you are handling several lawyers or uh, managing partners. So there will be a lot of assignments given to you, or multiple assignments, no? And you should be detailed oriented and organized and internet savvy, especially if there are informations that they will ask you to look at in the internet. And you should have strong research skills and can work under pressure, and knows to exercise sound judgment. Now, here are some legal documents wherein you will be asked to prepare, no? Now, I want you to familiarize these different legal documents, and in the coming schedule, the coming sessions or class schedules, I will be assigning, I will be giving you an assignment to prepare these legal documents for you to be familiar, and of course know before all these common documents, no, that you will be preparing in case you will uh, wanted to work in a law firm. Okay, so legal documents such as secretary certificate, especially this is very common in a corporation, no, or in they do a lot of secretary certificate. Uh, so in a corporation, uh, one of the board members is the secretary, and whatever decisions uh, they'll do, they will make the secretary certificate. But as I've said, I want you to research all these legal documents, and as an assignment later on, I will be assigning in each class dates on what to submit. Okay, so board resolutions, affidavits, like affidavit of laws, drafting of contracts, memorandum of agreements, lease agreements, or those rentals, no? Drafting demand letters if you are being a retainer of a financial company and your law firm is asked to make demand letters for those receivables, and of course minutes of the meeting. Now, some financial tasks or accounting tasks, no, that you will also be doing are the following. So you are to monitor standard rates for every legal services provided by lawyers. So when you do the billing, you will be guided, no? And you also submit expenses incurred. Like, depends, no, on how often you submit expenses, whether it's daily, weekly, semi-monthly, or what. And of course, the lawyer's fee. Keep records of expenses, keep track of clients' payments, prepare BIR forms, especially before due dates, no? And manage cash disbursement, subject by the approval of managing partners. Now, it is also very important to practice work ethics, no, or proper etiquette in work ethics in a law office. Number one is you must be punctual in reporting to work so that you can do your task in an organized manner. And of course, you'll be able to finish all those things that you need to do. And accuracy of transcription, typewritten works, professionalism in dealing with litigants or colleagues. So especially if your clients will go to your office, so you must be professional in dealing with them, and of course your co-workers, and maintain clients' confidence by keeping client lawyer information confidential. So please take note of this critical task, no, responsibility of a legal administrative assistant. Some will lawyers will help you assist in filing cases, and then you need to keep tabs of deadlines, hearings, pleadings, filed like appeal, position papers, answering pretrial briefs, etc. Like for example, if there's a complaint, and then your client will need to answer that complaint, and your client is only given 10 days to answer, you know, by the court, for example, then you must take note of that days, no, 10 days. So you must be able to answer that within 10 days. Otherwise, it will make or break a case, no? So as mentioned here, it is very crucial to take notes all deadlines and scheduled hearings since it could make or break a case. Late submission of pleadings could lead to unfavorable resolution or decision. In fact, there are also in law, no, that we're in, there's what we call trial in absentia, meaning the case will go on even if, like for example, if you're the defendant and you were not able to show up because your lawyer forgot to show up, or or nobody represents you, no, during the hearing, so the court, I mean the judge will decide to let the case go on, no, without your presence. So that's what you mean, trial in absentia. Okay, so even there's only one party, then still the case can still proceed. Okay, so that is why it could make or break a case. Okay, so again, this is very crucial, critical in your responsibilities as a legal administrative assistant if you will be tasked to keep tabs of deadlines. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, there are legal documents that the legal secretary or legal administrative needs to know, no? And these are the following, as mentioned earlier. So affidavits, complaints, board resolution, contracts, lease agreement, memorandum of agreement, and demand letters. Okay, so this will be the respective date of submission. No? So for affidavit, so you only need to submit one, so whatever form of affidavit. So it will be due on September 25. You may submit a PDF or Word file for the following legal documents. And for the complaints on September 28, board resolution on September 30, contracts on October 2, lease agreement on October 5, memorandum of agreement on October 7, and demand letters on October 9. Okay, so aside from preparing these documents as a practice, no, or for it to be prepared on your potential career in a law office, I want you really to understand, to learn more, research more about these different legal documents. Okay, so it is not just sufficient that you were able to submit an affidavit or complaints or this mentioned legal documents, but again, I want really to uh, for you to read more, no, learn and research about these legal documents. Okay, so I want you to understand this different kind of legal documents. Okay, so from here onwards, aside from these legal documents that you need to submit, uh, I will, since a law office environment, uh, uh, there are just procedures, no, or protocols, office protocols that you need to follow. Now we already learned that on our first topic, no, on the first part of our discussion before midterm. So I already laid down the general information that you need to know in an office environment. Okay, but for legal office procedures, again, it's since it is a specific or a special office, then what we're going to do is to do a lot of research. So it will now be an independent learning, no? So I will be giving you an assignment on each class schedule, like these legal documents. And aside from that, I will be asking you to read an article about legal office procedures. Like for example, this will be a research work after October 9, no? So we're going to read to submit this work assignment. So like what is docketing, what is a docket fee, what is legal calendar, important filing dates and prescriptions for some legal documents. So I already gave an example of filing dates, no, like answering, making an answer wherein the law requires or gives you 10 days to respond. So after 10 days, your submission will now be denied, no? So again, those are very important things that you need to know. So this will be due on October 12. Okay, now aside from those legal documents, I will be requiring you to read some articles in legal office procedures, and there are activities that you need to do, no? So your submission output per article will be the following. So part one will be the summary of the article. So you need to write an informative summary of the article, and then you condense the content of the work by highlighting its main points and key supporting points. So if you aside, so since this is a research activity, I would appreciate, or it, I would appreciate if you would look for other materials, especially in the main topics, no, or main points in that particular article that I will be assigning. If you can look for another information that would help you build the summary of the article, or support the summary of your article, or give other informations that is related and helpful to your article submission, then it would be better, you know. And then part two is the reaction to the article. So how is the assigned article relate to ideas and concern to legal secretary or assistant job? Okay. So did the article increase your understanding on the legal office procedures? So this would be your reaction on the particular article. So you need to submit a Word or PDF file for your output. So I'll just give you in advance so you will be able to prepare uh, in advance also, no? If you want to do it early. So this will be your, but don't worry, I will upload this links to the Moodle, and then you, so that you will be guided, no? So as an advanced information, this will be the topics of articles that you're going to read and make a summary and reaction of each article. So first article that will be due on September 23 is about legal secretary information, client contact guidelines. So that is the link which I will be posting also in our Moodle platform. And then on September 25, the article that you're going to read is about legal secretaries, tools, equipment, and supplies in a law office. Then information about different types of law firms. This is the link and will be due on September 28. Then handling clients' files as a legal secretary. That's the link and it will be due on September 30. And legal secretary correspondence due on October 2, 2020. The changing role of the legal secretary. This is actually a PDF file, no? But there's the link for in my Google Drive. It's saved there. So all you need to do is to click the link so you will be directed, no, on the PDF file to read. And it will be due on October 5. Simple and easy legal calendaring. This is the link and it will be due on October 7, 2020. The different roles of legal secretaries and paralegals, that's the link, and it will be due on October 9. Law office ethics and the role of the legal assistant, due on October 12. And the law office management 101 for paralegals, and it will be due on October 14. I think our final exam will be October, I don't know if I forget the date, no, but I think it's third week of October. Okay, so you may do the activities in advance. It will depend on how you organize the things, no? But again, I will uh, post this individually in our Moodle. So this will be form of assignment. And as I've said, I will no longer upload a video lectures because again, this is a special uh, office environment. I mean the legal office environment. So research is would be appropriate, no, and helpful to learn about this topic since it would be again it would uh, really help you, no, to really know more. But don't worry if you have question on each article or informations about the legal office procedures. Again, there's really way, no, by chat. I mean, sending a message through our group chat or through our class video. Okay, so please submit your uh, uh, output based on the scheduled due dates, no? And again, I would appreciate it. Yeah, you try to do your best to submit it on time so that you will not be boomerang with all those things, no? Especially with other subjects. Okay, so again, I will no longer upload a video lectures, but I will be these articles will be the things that we need to read and make a summary or I mean the reaction, summary and reaction based on each article. Okay, so this will be my last video lecture for this subject. The rest will be a self-learning method with those articles that you are going to read, and of course an output should be submitted on a class on our class schedule, no? Okay, so that ends our discussion for today. So enjoy the rest of the day.